Welcome to Raptors Night Cap. The Toronto Raptors losing their second straight game. This one, 115-108 to the Milwaukee Bucks at Amalie Arena in Tampa. The Raptors right there, really grinding it out, playing this game without OG Anunoby. And they were close. Paul Jones joined by Leo Rautins and Sherman Hamilton. And guys, a lot of little things. You know, we had a chance to talk to Adrian Griffin yesterday, and he talked about being in a position to win, but just not quite being able to close it out consistently. Leo, Sherman, this is something we've talked about. This team with its new parts and a shorter margin, a smaller margin of error, learning how to win again. Just some little things. Leo, let me go to you first. Some little things costing them coming down the stretch and, well, for that matter, through the body of the game.
Well, you know, you got to look at shot selection, right? I mean, some of the shots that they take just get them in a lot of trouble. And in this game, when you really looked at when they simplified things, came off a screen, got in the paint, they got some great shots.
Yeah.
But then ended up taking so many tough shots. The free throw line, again, is becoming an issue. Remember, early in the season was a big issue. They were 18 more free throw attempts for Indiana on Monday night, 14 more free throw attempts, Raptors 0 in the fourth in this game. That's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt you a lot. And also think about this, that, you know, the margin for error for the Raptors is pretty slim.
Yes, it is.
Especially when you're playing teams like Milwaukee, right? You don't have OG in the game. You can't have Pascal struggle. Pascal not be a big factor in this game. Kyle stepped up in the fourth, but you just can't afford to have anybody drop off. Right? What was the big issue in the bubble? Guys just dropped off, and it, like I said, I keep saying it's amazing. The Raptors went 7 games with Boston when you had never had 5 guys going at the same time ever.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that now. Like you just get the serious drop off. You know, I think if Pascal has a solid offensive game, maybe you win this game. But you just can't afford it. Or you know, Baines overall did fine, but you know, you take 7 threes or whatever it was and make one. I don't know if you needed all of them. I really don't. I think you could have kept moving the ball because he was scoring inside. So they just got to find a way to clean that up.
Yeah, Leo, you know, you make a good point there. At one point, Aaron Baines' 7 3-point attempts led the team. And, you know, there's, to your point, I guess, about shot selection. And
if you're Milwaukee, you're thrilled about that.
Yeah,
take 10 more.
There's a reason why he's open. Sherman, I want to look at the defensive end. Toronto did a pretty good job defensively. I mean, Milwaukee only shot 43%, but one of the principal defenders for Giannis is always OG Anunoby, who probably has the size, the strength, lateral quickness to match some of what Giannis gives Milwaukee. He's not in the game. Giannis goes to the free throw line. He just seems to have a little bit of his way when Toronto they didn't have a guy to defend him all the time. And you always talk about it. One-on-one defense, so important. No OG Anunoby tonight.
Yeah, I know we talked about Fred VanVleet, the job he's done against some elite point guards like Steph Curry and Chris Paul in this league. And when you talk about defending the ball, and this is what I really get impressed with the Raptors when they do it consistently, is their on-ball defense is so good sometimes in terms of activity, physicality, passing lanes being disrupted, and there's so much attention that the ball handler has to deal with that offensively the flow for that team is disrupted. And that's what OG can do. And when you talk about a prime-time player in Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's on the perimeter, that's a matchup that OG can relieve some of the help side pressure because of his physicality, because of his ability to not give up ground. And they felt it. You know, we talked about it last game. You know, when OG went out of that in the game with that lip issue, he had to get stitches, how the team was different defensively because his presence wasn't on the floor. This whole game, you could see it. That ability to one-on-one defend people. And even when Chris Middleton got going, maybe you throw OG on him and have him muscle him up a bit. But they definitely felt the fact that OG wasn't on the floor. And defensively, they were a different team. And it's a tough situation when you have a guy like Giannis who presents all kinds of issues that you don't have your best perimeter defender on the floor. And I just want to touch on the offense. These droughts that the Raptors have, guys, they can't continue to have these droughts as long as they are. The good thing in tonight's game was they did play defense during the drought, so they were able to stick around. But these offensive droughts have to be so draining to them. They're getting looks. They're getting pretty much shots that they've manufactured through good ball movement, and they don't finish them. And then they turn some situations over on themselves. It's just got to get frustrating at times for this team.
Well, in a position to win Sherman and not finishing it off. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. OG allows you to play it straight up, and you don't have to help. You stay attached to guys like Middleton and DiVincenzo and some of these guys that are putting up threes. Drew Holiday. I think the defense is compromised without one of your better players. And Leo, look, the Raptors are a team known for fast break points. They turn you over. They get out and run. They get easy ones. They didn't have one fast break point tonight, even though they forced 15 Milwaukee turnovers. How much of that was them not converting? Milwaukee's better transition defense in terms of getting back, but that's something that the Raptors normally live off, and they got none of it tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't want to take away anything, from Milwaukee, but I think a lot of what's happening with the Raptors at both ends of the floor or in transition, like you're talking about, is really self-inflicted. I think they create a lot of problems for themselves. They just lose their focus at times, or not see what's going on, or and they put themselves in these situations because they have opportunities to run, and you got to capitalize on that. And you guys know, transition basketball, I want to get the ball down the floor as quick as I can. It doesn't mean I got to take a shot as quick as I can. It means if I get that ball, get it down to the paint, get it down inside, and now from that point on, we initiate movement. We're going to get something good every single time if we do it that way. But when you just come down and just go over here, take a shot, go over, you're not going to score against good teams, and that works when you're hot. And you got to realize some of the decisions you make. There was a Stanley Johnson 3 in the corner late, and Raptors come down, they give Stanley another one in the other corner. If you're Milwaukee, you're going, that's great, that's perfect, because Stanley's not the guy you're going to be going to for multiple threes, right? If Norm hits one, find him again. But Stanley's a guy, if you get one out of him, that's good. Right. You're happy with that, right? Maybe you'll come back to him later, but he's not a guy you keep. So it's decisions you're making as you're playing that have to get better right now. And hey, listen, we're not talking about a dire situation, right? Because these guys are in games. Right?
Yeah, they're right there.
Getting blown out. Yeah, if you're just getting blown out, we'd have entirely different conversations. But I think it's frustrating for everybody because you're right there. Okay, you're right there. You just got to find a way to clean it up, get over the hump, avoid these droughts, avoid the mental mistakes, and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Sherman, we've got a couple minutes left here. Look, Norm Powell, here's his name again. The Raptors have a tough night shooting 40%, but Norm's 8 of 13, 5 of 7 from the floor. Man, there was no doubt who was pulling the cart tonight again. Norman Powell just playing very, very well right now.
Yeah, he is. And, his assists have been up going into this game as well. So he was playmaking at a higher level as well. But again, when we talk about Norm being on the floor, he's one of the guys who can present some transition opportunities for this team. He does a good job, to your point, Leo, of getting ahead, pressing that defense, seeing what's happening. If nothing's there, he just pulls it out. They run some offense. You always want to take advantage of a faster pace of play, especially against a Milwaukee team that has all this length. But Norm is confident. He's playing at a high level, and it's good to see him do this because right now they haven't really found that consistency that they need in terms of scoring. So it's good to see Norm find that rhythm. The difficulty is Pascal Siakam. He struggled tonight in a big way, and I thought Milwaukee really neutralized him and made him look pretty much average on a lot of the things that he tried to do, and you just can't have that. Pascal's got to step up to that level, and I know he sat out, but it's one of those matchups that if you don't get what you need from Pascal, it's tough to overcome that because of how good of a defensive team Milwaukee is.
Well, guys, great to have you and chop it up when it's all done here. Maybe Friday night we get to talk about a win. Raptors play Sacramento. Thanks for being on with us, all of us, for all the people behind the scenes. That's it. Thank you for watching us here on Nightcap.
Thanks for watching. You can click to watch our last episode or to subscribe to the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.